All right, between us, I think we need to have a conversation, and an honest one at that, about cash. Because the way we use it in society is changing. And I don't think we've really stopped to think about what impact that has on day-to-day life. Look, this isn't a rant. I'm not here to shout about a cashless society and how everything's awful. It's just a few things that struck me recently. Nothing dramatic, just enough to stop and make me think. If you followed this channel for a while, you'll know that I've designed my entire life to have a bit of distance between systems. And that's not because I hate them, particularly. You know, it's not like I think everybody's out to get me. I just like to have options. I like knowing that if one thing fails, then there's something there to back it up. And lately, one of them backups is slowly disappearing. Not overnight, just, well, slowly. I was on the bus the other day and it was simple enough. I used the app, I scanned on and I scanned off, sat down, thought nothing more of it. And honestly, I do quite like that level of convenience. I'm not going to lie. You know, I'm not anti-tech. But what got me was, when I got on the bus, my phone had 7% battery. And when I got off, only 4%. And then my brain started to do a bit of maths. If that bus was 20 minutes late, then the potential to have no battery left and no way to scan on and off the bus, then that would have been a long walk home. To be fair, I could use cash for now. So there was no drama. But it was a timely reminder. Because the convenience only ever works when all systems and cogs in that system are working and playing fair. Quite simply, the battery could have died, or no signal, the app crashing and not working, some server somewhere malfunctioning, all totally reasonable, all invisible, until one of them fails. And with this automated system, when it does go wrong, there's no human to call. You're locked out of the system. And that got me thinking, how dangerous is a cashless society? And when you start thinking about it, you start seeing it everywhere, even the supermarkets. We've all used the self-service checkouts, but many of them are for card only. You do get the occasional self-service checkout that still takes cash, don't get me wrong, but they're heavily outnumbered. You know, they're not as convenient as the cash and card one. It's just another example where cash is slowly being marginalised. You stand in a different queue and you move different, and slowly you feel like you're the odd one out. Again, at the moment, not banned, but not the main payment method. It feels very much like they're designing the whole system to exclude cash. I guess what I'm trying to say is, they're designing the whole world around cashless payments. And that's the thing, big changes rarely happen by force. It just slowly falls away, I suppose. A bit like how emails overtook postal service. It all happens by design. You don't remove the old system, not straight away, but you make the new system far easier to access. You know, faster, quieter, easier, less awkward, until people stop using the old system. Not because they disagree with the old system, but people just stop fighting. And convenience always wins. And here's the thing, it's not just in this country. I don't know about anybody else, but when you get to the airport on your return journey, you almost always end up with a handful of foreign currency. On my last visit to Thailand, I had a handful of baht left in my wallet, and I thought something simple at the airport. I grabbed myself a coffee from Starbucks, but unfortunately they don't accept cash anymore. You know, I had the money, but no way of spending it. And on the subject of Thailand, it's quite interesting really how different countries manage payment systems. QR payments are everywhere, literally. Paying 50 baht for a pad thai at a street side food vendor, to the 7-Eleven, and tuk-tuks. Very easy if you're Thai. You just scan and it's paid directly from your bank account. But as a tourist, completely useless. You are excluded from that payment method simply because you don't have a Thai bank account. I mean, there is a system, Thai tap or whatever it's called, but you have to top it up with foreign currency, cash. You can't top it up with a Visa card, so in effect, useless for a foreigner. And that's fine, I suppose, until you think about it. Because cash doesn't automatically give you access anymore. It's very much digital, and with that, conditional. You're not locked out because you haven't got the funds. You're just locked out because you don't belong in that system. Wrong setup, wrong paperwork, wrong passport. It's not working. These aren't just stories. This is a trajectory of where cash has slowly been marginalised and replaced by digital financial products, where access to your own finances and services can be gated and controlled, I suppose. Cash has been used way back to the Roman times, and cash isn't failing. It's just being slowly denied. And I'm not saying go backwards. What I'm saying is half of Nottingham wants to come through a back lane when I'm trying to film a video. And look, I'm not saying we should wind it right back or that the technology's bad. I'm just saying that resilience actually matters. And to that end, so does cash. Because what we're building now isn't resilience. And yeah, it works fine. Until it doesn't. It appears to me that all currencies are slowly migrating to digital assets. The digital dollar, even the European Central Bank. I just don't think we fully appreciate the impact. So yeah guys, that's where I stand on the matter at the moment. There's no real outrage at the moment, just a sense of unease. And there's not one villain here, it's not one government or one company, it's just the whole system, the whole globe is slowly moving that way. And I guess my anxiety comes from the fact that once systems become fully digital, access is conditional, I suppose. And at that point, there is no turning back. I mean, what do you guys think? I'm genuinely interested. Are you happy to trade a bit of control and resilience for convenience? Or you're like me, still quite fond of a bit of cash? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you want to buy me a nice latte, there is a buy me coffee link in the description. Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, MasterCard. But strangely, no cash.